Previously on the Wheelbarrow Full of Dicks internet radio program.
So there's a gorilla walking along in the jungle, and there's a lion getting a drink of water from a mud puddle. And the lion's tail is up, and the gorilla looks
Previously
like, oh
on
man.
the Wheelbarrow Full of
The gorilla
Dicks
goes up behind the
internet
lion and slips some Liberace, you know. And then the gorilla takes off. So the lion takes off after the gorilla, and the gorilla runs into a hunter's camp and jumps inside the tent and puts on like a pith helmet and grabs a copy of the Johannesburg Times and sits down in a chair and starts to read. And the lion comes running into the hunter's camp. Roar! And he sticks his head in the tent. Roar! He said, did a gorilla come through here? And the gorilla peeks out from behind the Johannesburg Times and says, you mean the one that fucked the lion in the ass? And the lion says, my God, you mean it's in the paper already?
Hello?
Hello and welcome to this thing we call the Wfod. My name is Mike. I am joined, of course, by my good friend Drunk.
Hey, what up, buddy?
And the king of pranks, the albino alligator, popcorn bitch, Mr. Travis Hulse.
Hello, everybody.
And guys, our guest tonight is a stand-up comedian, writer, and musician. His new podcast with comedian Peter Bales is called Stand-Up Memories, and it debuts February 2nd wherever you get podcasts. Jackie the Jokeman Martling is on the program. Jackie, how you doing, man?
Hi, you guys. I have no idea who you are, where I'm talking to. I don't know nothing, but hello and thanks.
Jackie,
I was on the show a while back. You know, I don't. What do I know?
You did the same bit last time, Jackie. You said I don't know who this is. And eventually, you're gonna know who I am, Jackie. That's my goal.
Oh, good. Well, that's good. I like goals. You have to have goals in life. I've reached none of mine, but I'm only 74 and I got plenty of time.
Oh yeah, plenty of time. Just what you need to do, Jackie, I think you need to make a list and try to just knock one off every week. You know, get a big.
Well, I knocked one off this morning, so that's the important thing.
Jackie, your co-host on his show, he's a doctor, right? I think I saw something that said he's a doctor.
No, what happened was I had a band in the 70s, and this guy lives a town away from where I am right now, and him and his friends used to come over to where my band played, because on Tuesday nights it was a local night, and all the local girls would get drunk, and everybody banged everybody. So his friends would come over and to meet girls. He could have cared less about my band. And then he started out at the comic strip in Manhattan with Jerry Seinfeld and Paul Reiser and Dennis Wolfberg and all these characters. And I got to know him right then. So we've been comedic and pals, comedy pals and regular pals for over 40 years. And these people approached me about maybe doing a podcast, and I've never done one. And everybody's like, when are you going to do a podcast and tell you stupid stories? I said, you know what? I'll come over and do one. And then I invited Peter to come be my guest. And we realized that we really hit it off. So we've done 20 shows, and we haven't talked to anybody except each other. And it's pretty interesting. You know, he became a college professor, and so he's a professor of history. And he taught in a couple of local parochial schools and in local colleges, but he's been a comedian the entire time, too. And he's
Travis, that's where I got confused. I think I saw the PhD thing and said, this guy's a doctor, right?
Yeah, no, piles higher and deeper. Yeah, he's brilliant. He's smart. We have a really, really good time, and we're promoting the shit out of this podcast that's starting next Wednesday. It's exciting. We've done a lot of stuff. Now, where am I talking to? Where are you guys out of?
We're in St. Louis.
Sorry.
It's really cold, Jackie. It's unpleasant here right now.
I love St. Louis. Me and my friend stole my parents' car and drove across country, and we made sure that we went through St. Louis and saw the huge arch. And we actually went to a baseball game at Busch Stadium, and then it was so the last time I worked in St. Louis was so long ago that me and the other act came out of the Funny Bone. That was in some plaza. I think it was called Westport Plaza.
Yeah, that's right, actually.
Still there.
Yeah.
And across the plaza was a theater. And we came out after our first show, and we ran into the three guys that were performing at the theater on the plaza. And it was Jay Leno, Yakov Smirnoff, and Larry Miller. I don't know if you know. Of course, you know Leno's name. I know.
I miss Yakov Smirnoff so much.
And Larry Miller he's great. The 5 stages of drinking.
Went on to do much. Yeah, he's great. They're all great. We had, So I've known everybody forever. So I've been around too long. Now I'm thinking. I remember talking to you guys about saying. I probably told you the same stupid story.
It was a different one last time. It was something about like somebody who had hepatitis B, I think. You've been around enough that you have a lot of local stories.
The world's best hepatitis C doctor is from St. Louis. I completely forgot that, and I actually flew out there for a huge charity event that Willie Nelson's band was playing. His whole family was there, and I actually sat next to Morgan Fairchild at the dinner.
Nice.
And I got to be very good friends with Willie Nelson. In fact, that was part of the thing that cemented me to him. They paid for everything, but the fact that I get on a plane and fly to St. Louis for them, they thought that was very nice of me. I'm saying, well, are you kidding? To leave, to fly to St. Louis and stay in a nice hotel and see Willie Nelson play in his band and then get stoned with him, I'd pay to do that. You don't have to pay me to do that.
Which one's Morgan Fairchild, Jackie? Is that the redhead?
No, she's blonde. She used to do the Old Navy commercials.
She's been every different color. She squatted in every kind of bleach there ever was. But she's beautiful. She's like from Dallas or one of those shows in the late 70s, 80s, I don't know. But she's still around. She's all over Twitter and Facebook and everything. But it's funny because she's a beautiful, beautiful model type. She looks like a doll. Like a doll made out of some kind of china. But meanwhile, she's a rock and roll chick out of Texas. She was married to a guy that owned the biggest rock and roll club in Texas. And she's a bang, kick-ass, drunken, pot-smoking, crazy Texas broad. And that's what she looks like,
71 years old.
So
she still
cool.
looks good.
It's so fun.
71?
71.
Wow. Jackie, it's kind of
Who's
weird.
71?
Morgan Fairchild.
What is 71?
I just looked it up. She's 71.
Yeah, she was 71 10 years ago. No, she really is. She's 71. Hey, I'm going to be 74 in about a half hour.
Oh, happy birthday.
So, what can you do?
No, Jackie.
Yeah, Valentine's Day.
Jackie, Valentine's. Yeah, I looked it up today. I was like, oh, shit, that's Valentine's Day.
What are you, a stalker?
Well, Jackie, I'm interviewing you. What, am I going to not look anything up?
Oh, okay. Well, you should know that.
I wouldn't have remembered if it wasn't a holiday. Like if your birthday was in like mid-March, I would remember it.
Did I tell you the story of my birthday already?
No.
Okay, so I got a story for you. Meanwhile, my podcast is called Stand Up Memories. So anybody who wants to hear the podcast, I don't know, the people say, oh, it's on all the platforms. I don't know what that means. but I'm pretty sure we have standupmemories.com, and if you go to the website, it shows you how to get there. And it's going to be interesting. If you like old stories, bullcrap stories about comedy and on the road and everything, it's, you know.
Have you told the birthday story in one of the 20 you've already done?
You know, if I haven't, I will. You know, I always have to ask Peter, did we do this story yet? Because we don't do anything to keep track of what we're doing. But
hey, that sounds like us.
Right.
yeah, who needs to know? But I did a movie with Florence Henderson. You know who that is, right?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Mrs. Brady. So
Sure.
I get a role in this movie because my friends cast me in this movie, and I have to make out with Mrs. Brady.
There you
I
go.
literally, we French kissed the whole afternoon because we were background scenes for one of the main shots. So I'm her boyfriend, and we're making out and having a great time. And me and her hit it off so well, they put me in a couple extra scenes. So they flew me out to the Palms in Las Vegas to do some more scenes with Florence and her road partner. And her road partner in the movie was Irene Brennan, who is Sean Penn's mother in real life. That's Sean Penn's mother. So I find this out. So they're going to fly me out to Las Vegas to do some more scenes. So the guitar player from my band in 1969 sends me an email and says, Martling, I heard you're in a movie with Florence Henderson. How cool is it that you guys have the same birthday? And I said, you know, it's bad enough that you would remember my birthday. How the hell would you know Florence Henderson's birthday, you weirdo? He said, well, years later, many years after the band, I'm watching the Mike Douglas show, and Florence Henderson comes out. And Mike Douglas says, so Florence, I hear you were born on Valentine's Day. And she goes, yes. And I said to myself, oh, wow, same as Martling. I said, now, how would you remember that? He said, are you kidding? He said, every time it was your birthday, that was your excuse to get 5 times drunker than you would normally get at the job. And, you know, we'd be drunk for a week. So that was funny. So here I know that me and Florence Henderson have the same birthday, and I'm equipped with this knowledge. And we're between scenes at the Palms Casino, the Palms Hotel Casino, and we're behind the curtain, sitting in director's chairs, and it's me and Florence Henderson and Irene Brennan, who's Sean Penn's mother. And I'm equipped with this knowledge, and it's like a pregnant time. I mean, there's nobody talking, there's nothing to do. So out of a clear blue sky, I said to Florence, Florence, did you know that we have the same birthday? And she says, oh, you were born on Valentine's Day? And I said, yeah. And Irene Brennan leaned over and says, oh, Sean was born on the same day as Robert De Niro. And Florence Henderson says to her, oh, how is Bobby? And I turned to her and said, yeah, how is Bobby? I said, now I'm in show business. How's my pal Bobby De Niro? How's Bobby?
It's an elite club once you start
that's so much fun.
using Bobby. That's when you
Hey,
know.
you got to see it's called Venus in Vegas with Ann like an ampersand. Venus and Vegas. I think it's free on Prime, Amazon Prime, and it's the worst movie in the world, but so much fun. The whole world is in it.
Ain't no better place than Vegas.
Joe
that's for
Rogan's
sure.
in it, and all kinds of, and it's a mob movie, and I'm like, and me and Florence Henderson not only French kiss, but she licks mustard and ketchup off my lips and off my face. It was so fun, and everybody in the crew was like gagging, and I was like in heaven, you know.
Do you still have the ponytail
At the
back
time,
then,
I think she was
Jackie?
70 and I was 50. No, the ponytail went away, and after a year of comedy, I said, you know what, if I want to have a chance, this thing's got to come off, because they decide whether or not they like you in the first 10 seconds. So many people saw the ponytail and said, well, this guy sucks. So I said, listen, I can make him think I suck by myself quick enough without this ponytail.
After the career you've had, though, you could probably bring that ponytail back now, right?
Oh, I've got one right now.
How have you been doing with all the stuff going on?
Yeah.
You haven't really been able to perform or anything, have you?
With the COVID?
Yeah.
Yeah, it really sucks. Like, I actually went to West Palm Beach in the beginning of December, just before the Omicron hit. And, I'm old. And, I'm a little bit compromised, so I got to be really, really careful.
Sure.
But I went down there and did a show, and I go to Pennsylvania and do a show, and go here and go there. I just canceled shows in Fort Myers right the first week of January, because that was right when all the flights got canceled, and all the pilots and all the people were calling in sick, and nobody was going anywhere. I said, you know what? I'm not going to Florida. Down in Florida, they don't even think there's a virus. They think the person next to them's dropping dead because they just don't feel good. There's a bunch of idiots. So I just canceled the gig.
You do any outdoor stuff or anything?
It sucks. It sucks. No, I did a little bit of that, but I went up to Boston. We did some shows in a tent, but I don't get a lot of work anyway. You know what I mean? So I work here and there, and it's very simple. The way I have my whole career down to a science. If they call, I say yes. That's how I do it. Sometimes I say yes before the phone rings, and then it rings. I'm like, oh, wow, there's a coincidence, But I'm loving it. I got a podcast starting on Groundhog's Day, which is exciting. And they just finished. They finished the documentary about my life just before the COVID hit, so that sucked. And then we promptly got rejected from all the film festivals, but we had a couple screenings that people were just loving it. And we're having a screening in Chappaqua on February 12th, and the screening is like literally a quarter of a mile from Bill Clinton's house. So I'm hoping him and Hillary stop by.
Drop an invitation in their mailbox on the way.
Yeah, oh, hell yeah. Maybe I'll throw them a few dollars. Say, hey, I'll make it worth your while. You come by,
So were people following you around for a while, like or is it like a documentary about your past?
No, it's assembled. Yeah, my buddy followed me a little bit here and there, but it's assembled stuff, and they interviewed people like it, and it's an eclectic group of people. Like Artie Lang, Willie Nelson, Penn Jillette, Mark Cuban, and Stuttering John. I mean, it's people from all walks of life that you just would not ever imagine, and it's just honest, Wow. It's my family, and I have a weird story, and it's a little interesting, and I basically worked hard,
All of those names, Jackie, all those names made sense to me, except Mark Cuban. How did you and Mark Cuban cross paths enough for him to be interviewed for your documentary?
He owes me.
How'd they nail down Stuttering John, Jackie? How'd they get a...
He camped outside my house for 3 weeks. Mark Cuban, in the very early days of the internet, and most people are not old enough to remember, when the internet first started, it was just text. And then it got to be where they started what you see is what you get. You could actually, put stuff on. And in the very early days of the internet, you had to load the HTML and the commas and the colons and the slashes. And if you made one mistake, the whole page came out backwards. And I loved it because I'm a mechanical engineer. I took atomic physics. So I could deal with that stuff. And it was such a rush to do it. It was almost like figuring out problems in mechanics 105, like, holy Christ, you do 15 pages of calculations and the answer is 3 milliliters. It's exciting. And so then it got to where you could put pictures on the internet. And that was a whole big deal when it changed to why you could load pictures onto the internet. And then this guy, Mark Cuban, had already made a couple $1 million, I think, in California doing whatever. He moved to Dallas. And he graduated from Indiana University. He got the bright idea that he'd love to be able to hear his college basketball team's games on the internet. So he got the bright idea that he's going to broadcast the audio of college basketball games on the internet. Now, as silly as that sounds, that was unheard of. There was no sound on the internet yet. So he started this company called audionet.com. And the Stern Show had hit Dallas. And the people in Dallas, we were almost number one almost immediately. And everybody loved us. And the people that worked for Mark Cuban, I didn't know him, of course, were huge fans. And they called me up and said, Jackie, you got to come out and do a show. And we'll sponsor the show. You know, we don't have any money to pay you, but we'll pay your expenses. Blah, blah. I said, listen, guys, I'm making so much money. I'm making a lot of money on the radio. And when I go out to Chicago or Denver, I'm making $10,000 or $12,000 or $15,000 a show. I can't, even if I wanted to, I can't tell my wife that I'm taking off a weekend because I'm hoping I'm going to go to Dallas and get laid. You know, I can't do that. And they said, well, we can't pay. I said, I'll tell you what, because they said, what we want to do is we want to have you, put your jokes on our internet site. And I said, well, forget about the show. I said, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll send you all of my stuff. And I had CD. I don't know if I might have had a CD or two by then. I forget the exact timing. But all my cassettes and all my videotapes, anything that I had, I sent them everything I had. And they converted everything I had into audio. And they had a 6-hour endless loop of Jackie's jokes and had a button. So if you were listening to a college basketball game and they went on break or they took whatever, at any point you could push a button and it would switch to the endless loop of me telling disgusting jokes. And they loved me. And then, I did it for a while, and they promoted me and whatever. But, I was going a million miles an hour making CDs. That was one of a million different things I was doing. And then, like a couple of years later, the headline of the post is, audionet.com became broadcast.com. And all of a sudden, the headline in the New York Post was, Broadway.com sells for $4 billion. and that was Mark Cuban's company.
Sure.
And there's actually, if you go on the web, you can actually see Mark Cuban on the Howard Stern show thanking me, but he doesn't know me. He says, Howard, I got to thank your boy Jackie here, because if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have been able to get started. And Howard says, well, that's all nice, but that's not Jackie. That's Fred. Jackie doesn't work here anymore. It's so funny. But I just wrote, I said, Mark, you got to, you just got to say hello on my video because it's such an excuse to tell that stupid story. And he overdoes it. He says, yeah, if it wasn't for Jackie Martling, I wouldn't be sitting here today. I'm like, well, why don't you send me a check, you piece of crap? Send me $4.
You were a very early adopter of the internet because I think that your website being promoted on the show is like one of the first websites I remember even hearing about.
They broke my balls because it was part of my deal that Howard had to promote me.
Yeah, you got paid in plugs
at the end of every show. And then at one point I wanted more money and they just would not give me the raise they gave me wasn't enough. I said, I'll tell you what, give me another plug. Not only at the end of the show, give me a plug in the middle of the show. And they agreed to it, which was the single best decision I ever made. Because at the end of the Stern show, 1/10 or 1/20th of the audience is still listening. At the heart of it, at 8 o'clock, everybody's listening. So if I would hand them my plug at 7:30, and the next day I'd hand it to them at 8 o'clock, and at 7:30 there's 12 million people listening, and at 8 o'clock it's a different 12 million people listening. And when these people came into our office, they said, hey, Jackie, Nancy, do you guys want to be on the World Wide Web? And we said, yeah, sure. What the hell is that? So they had this thing called, I guess, the Starbright.com, I think it was. And they said, we'll put Jokeland on our website, which we didn't even know what it was. And so we had a URL. I didn't even know what a URL was for years. And then I went in and said, Howard, you got to plug me. Jokeland's on the World Wide Web. Now, you remember the first time you heard that expression?
Yeah.
It sounds like something out of The Onion. It sounds made up. World Wide Web. So they broke my balls. And Howard said, yeah, if you want to hear Jackie, if you want to see Jokeland on the World Wide Web, and he literally used to say, go to http://www.starbright.com/Jokeland. And they would break my balls, you idiot, you moron. Jackie gets hooked up in every crazy scheme. And a year later, the entire world was on the World Wide Web.
Sure.
Which is the way they broke my balls. Oh, you got to see the show, The Sopranos, the greatest show. Jackie's an idiot. He didn't know anything. Oh, what a moron. He didn't know anything. A year later, yeah, we told everybody about The Sopranos. We turned Jackie on to The Sopranos,
And now
you're got rewritten.
Now you're innovating again. You're going to be one of the first comics to have a podcast.
I didn't discover the wheel, but I certainly was there pointing at stuff and oh, you're a moron, you're a moron. I'm sure there is tape of him doing that. WWW. And he had to do it.
I am 100% old enough to remember when everybody used to say HTTP : //.
Right, and all of a sudden at some point you could leave out the www, and then at some point the www went out the window.
That's right.
It's, the world is ending just in time for us to get rid of the www.
Yeah.
We threw out the W's and now we're throwing away the planet. So
that's right. We don't do the .com, so let's just let it burn.
Yep. Who needs it? Hey, did you see that movie? Don't Look Up.
Yeah.
That's so great. You guys are probably Trump people. You're morons out there.
My favorite part of Don't Look Up actually was the epilogue, the post-credit scene with Jonah Hill. I thought was particularly brilliant.
Why? Just because Jonah Hill was coming to an end?
Yeah.
Post-apocalyptic.
That's right.
I think it's great. It's great. I just posted this story. I got called to do something. I go to everything because that's the way you meet people and have fun. They called me up to go do a cooking pilot, and it was me and Jerry Cooney and some C, D, G, F, and Y, Z celebrities.
I thought you were doing like a LBGT thing. You just meant the lists.
No, we're just a bunch of semi-celebrities, and we're going to try the food and make fun and laugh.
Oh, like 16th on the call sheet people.
Yeah, right. And this is long before there was a cook show everywhere. It was actually a brilliant idea before its time. But the cook was, some mobster. And I'm sitting next to a guy, and the guy says, I said, hi, how you doing? I'm Jackie. He says, hi, I'm Bob. And he didn't know who I was. I didn't know who he was. So, but he was an older guy, so why would he know the Stern Show? And I don't even know how famous we were yet, whatever. But I'm sure this has happened to you. We hit it off. Sometimes you just sit with somebody and you share a sense of humor, and we laughed our balls off for 3 hours. I mean, with everybody. Cooney's a good guy, and everybody's a good guy. We're breaking balls and giving the director a hard time like little kids in the back of the classroom, And at the end of the day, I was like, well, who was that guy? He was great. And they said, that was Robert Downey Sr. I'm like, oh, wow. And then I'm watching Licorice Pizza last night, which is so great. And the very, very last thing it says, in memoriam to Robert Downey Sr., a prince. And I said, how sweet is that? So I have a picture. And meanwhile, the picture of me and Downey, we both look like we're at a funeral. It must have been just before we started laughing or just when we got done laughing. But I posted that on Twitter because it was so funny. And I'm sure Paul Jefferson, Alan Smith, Washington, whatever the guy's name, the director. He just he must have loved them starting out, you know.
How was the food?
Huh?
How was the food?
You know what? I'm pretty sure it was Italian food, which if you put a clothespin on your nose, it all tastes the same, you know. But the movie is great. Licorice Pizza is just, I thought it was spectacular.
Yeah.
Really great. You know, it just goes on and on and on and on. And I'm a fan of movies. Like, people say, oh, that was a great movie, but it was 8 minutes too long. I'm like, what are you, a moron? You get your popcorn, you sit down and shut the fuck up. You know, enjoy yourself. Jesus Christ, the whole world's in a hurry. I got to get out to the car, you know, so I can race home and complain about something. You know.
That's the thing. It's 8 minutes too long. That's 8 more minutes you didn't have to think about your impending doom.
Right.
Right. There you go. There you go. You know, it's not like I'm going to go home and whack off. I took care of that in the middle of the movie.
Yeah, of course.
You know.
That's intermission.
Yeah. Well, there was no intermission, but I kind of made one for myself, you know. No. Pardon me, I'm going to go to the bathroom. Why didn't you get up? Well, that's not how I do it.
Guys,
I don't even know
Stand
what
Up
to talk
Memories. It's the new podcast from Jackie the Jokeman Martling and his co-host.
And you know what? And I bet you guys, in spite of yourself, I bet you would enjoy it. I really bet you would enjoy it. I dare you. I tell people all the time, I still have my stupid phone line, 516-922-WINE, and there's still dirty jokes on there, and people still can't believe it. And I tweet jokes every day at 4:20 p.m. International Marijuana Time at Jackie Martling. And the way I made it through the pandemic is I don't know if did you hear Cameo.com?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we've had numerous discussions.
Jackie, I bet you clean up on
yeah.
Cameo.
You know, I do great on it because if you say, yeah, my grandmother hates my grandfather, she loves Italian food, and she farts like a rhino, I can go right down the list and hit a joke and do a monologue off the top of my head about anything. And I've got like 125 five-star reviews, you know. Some days I get 5 of them, but sometimes I go a week without getting one. It's very hit and miss.
Sure.
But I'll tell you, forget about the money. It got me through the pandemic because I sit there and tell a few jokes and laugh at myself. It's like methadone for me. That's all I need is, you know, go in and make the guy behind the deli counter laugh, and I'm good to go. You know, I need a couple laughs, little end of endorphins, you know.
Just a quick shot to keep you going.
You know, I'm supposed to do 1 minute, and I look down, I'm like 5.5 minutes in. I'm like, well, this guy got his fucking money's worth. Holy shit, you know.
So, like, some people get up, Travis, and they have a cup of coffee, and, like, they do a Sudoku puzzle, and Jackie just tells, like, 15 dick jokes into a camera, and it's the same thing. You just keep yourself fresh.
It's the same exact thing. You know, what would you rather do? Tell 3 dick jokes into a camera or arm wrestle with Wordle for 15 minutes? Who the hell needs that? Fuck that.
Jackie, I'll tell you what, that Wordle, I on the toilet in the morning, I really enjoy sitting there taking a crap and do my morning Wordle.
I usually, after the 3rd line, I give up and wipe my ass with the Wordle. But then it's really a hassle because it's really hard working around the brown to figure it out, you know?
Yeah. Guys, Stand Up Memories. It's Jackie the Joke Man's podcast premieres February 2nd, wherever you get podcasts. And he's got all of them, guys.
StandUpMemories.com. Please tune in, and please like our website and like our YouTube page and like our Facebook page and like my balls and like this. Oh, fuck you, man. You know,
smash that subscribe button, everybody.
Smash it.
Yes, hit it with your elbow. Don't break your finger. Hit it with your elbow. But I appreciate you guys. This is fun.
Thanks, Jackie.
Again, as soon as the podcast fails and I start another one, I'll call you back.
Right, and you can tell us you don't know who we are again.
You know what? The longer we talk, the more I remembered it because I'm doing so many podcasts.
Oh, I hear you.
Was write down
Jackie, believe me, I didn't expect you to remember who we are.
What's the area code? Is that a St. Louis area code? Was 646?
636. Yeah, that's St. Louis.
636.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. You know, in the old days, you knew where you were calling. You know, like 301 was Washington, and 516 was New York, was Long Island, and you know, 631 was Suffolk, and 561 was Fort Lauderdale. Now there's 18,000 fucking dial. You know,
there's too many fucking people.
Talking to Pluto, or you can be talking to
one household used to have a phone. Now everybody's got a phone, or more than one.
Too many cell
phone.
phones is what it is.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, my phone number was 516. No, there was no 516. There was no area code yet. It was Oyster Bay 61292M. We had a party line. I think we were hooked up to the people next door or something like that. God, that's so long ago. And then the newfangled thing came in where you dialed. When I was a kid, you had to pick up the phone, and the operator would say, "Number, please," and you'd tell the broad the number, and she'd dial it, that whore. You know.
Bitch, make me a pizza.
Yeah, what are you doing? You know, 1292M. Thank you, sir. Nasally. What is the party to who I am speaking? You guys are too young for laughing.
I was right at the end of the
Nick at Night. I remember laughing.
Huh?
The pulse tone, Travis, with the big turny dial.
My grandparents had one of those.
I was right at the end of that.
Yeah.
Yep, me too.
Yeah.
Like my grandparents still had
a rotary phone.
Rotary phone, that's what it was. Yeah, rotary phone.
Where you dialed, you put your finger in and. Brrr.
Yeah.
That's why I'm so good at. Well, never mind.
You know, I'll tell you, there are certain light bulb moments in your life, and when I moved into the house I'm in now, it's like from 1925, and that was probably built 100 years before that, because every house where I am was a house, then it was a bigger house, it was a bigger house, because it was a beach community. And the house I'm currently in was the new shell. The newest shell was like 1925, but that's been rebuilt on. And when I moved in the cellar, in the basement, there was still a rotary phone hanging on the beam that still operated. And sometimes I'd be downstairs doing the laundry or something, and the phone would ring. And if I answered the phone, sometimes people call and say, "Hey, Jackie, you got to call Charlie right away. It's important." I say, "Okay," and hang up. And then I would dial Charlie on the rotary phone, where you had to dial and then wait for the thing to tick, 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 come back. And then 3, tick, 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 tick. And each thing you dialed, you had to wait for the thing to roll back to its original place. And you're so used to hitting buttons and dialing in 5 seconds, and here you're waiting. And I remember saying to myself, "Holy Christ, this is the world used to go at this speed, where you literally had to dial and wait for it to come back." It was so eye-opening. It was just like, you don't even realize how our fucking lives have, been destroyed with the pressure of time and hurry and and I'm sitting there waiting for the goddamn number to go back to 9, going, "Wow, this must have been a nice way to run your life. No wonder people live to be 23 and 24 years
old."
old.
Frustrating phone call.
Except after you've gotten so used to those push buttons, when you do call Charlie back using the rotary phone, it was an emergency, but by the time you get a hold of him, Charlie's dead because it took so long to make that phone call.
Charlie's dead, or else you're dead because of the anxiety waiting for the fucking thing. There's no way out. It's that simple. There's no way out. Thank God there's a meteor coming. Did you see Don't Look Up, or you didn't see it?
Saw it.
We saw it, I think, recently I thought that I saw, and it was a tidbit in the news that they said that there was an asteroid or a meteor shooting by Earth that was going to narrowly miss us. And I thought, after watching Don't Look Up, I'm like, are they just saying it's going to miss us in case we're looking up at the sky and see a meteor, but really it's going to hit us?
I don't know. You know, if you were a dinosaur, what would you have done? I probably would have got laid that morning.
Yeah. I probably would have had some Oreos on some ice cream and tried to have sex and then just kind of hung out.
Now, you mean had sex or had sex with the Oreo and the ice cream?
Probably both.
Just
not sure which one I would.
Today? I had lunch today with a girl that I dated in 1975.
What?
And it was so fun. But we're sitting there. She goes, "Yeah, my oldest daughter is 40."
Ooh.
And I'm thinking, how is that possible if I'm only 33 years old? God damn. But it's so fun. But holy shit, I don't know. You know, I don't know where the fucking time goes. But I'm sick of this shit. 'Cause that means the next time I talk to you guys, I'll probably be dead. And that's not fun.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it'd probably be all that fun.
Dead?
I'm telling you, though, that'd be probably really good for ratings if we talked to you after you died.
Wow.
No,
Jackie,
you should be talking to me while it's happening.
Could you call us? Like, just make a note.
I'll probably be able to call you if it's a push button. If it's a dial phone, I probably won't get it out in time.
You call us, we'll call the ambulance.
Did I talk to you guys after the pandemic started?
No. It was long before. I think it was like 2017.
So you don't know my pandemic jokes?
Oh, you got some?
I'll give you my 2 pandemic jokes, and then I'm hanging up, and I'm going to go and finger fuck my girlfriend, and then I'm going to wake her up. A guy knocks on his neighbor's door, and the neighbor answers. The guy says, "Hey, neighbor, since the COVID hit, I haven't seen your wife." And the neighbor says, "Oh, she's out back in the garden." And the guy says, "Well, I was just out there. I didn't see her." And his neighbor says, "Well, you got to dig down a little bit." Which is pretty dark.
Yeah.
And the guy comes in, and his wife's watching TV all day, every day because of the pandemic. And he walks in, and she's watching TV, and she's yelling at the screen, "Don't do it, you asshole! Don't go in that church, you fucking moron! Don't go in that church!" He says, "What are you watching?" She says, "Our wedding video." So that's that. I'm going inside. You guys, I appreciate the plug. It's fun talking to you. What's it like, guys? Is it cold over there?
It's cold as shit, Jackie. It's really cold out.
So you're not Midwest. What are you?
Midwest. I would say we're Midwest, yeah.
I'm upper.
What parallel? Are you parallel to Virginia or Pennsylvania or
We're
South
like
Carolina?
right in the middle, man.
Yeah, we're more,
The Arch is the gateway to the West, man.
Yeah, we're more north than North
No,
Carolina.
but I mean as far as north-south.
We're
north.
So
We're north of Tennessee,
North-
in Kentucky.
it should be warmer there.
No, it's
Somebody's
not.
fucking up.
It's cold, Jackie.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, and I'm up in
Miserable.
Wisconsin right now, Jackie. Actually, these guys are in St. Louis. I'm in Wisconsin, and right now it's -10 with a wind chill of -25.
Oh, well, but you know, the truth of it is, there's a lot of great reasons for living in Wisconsin. They just haven't figured them out yet.
That's right. That's right. And hey, all of us up here, we got that extra padding so that the cold temperatures aren't too bad, you know.
I remember when I went to Michigan State in the late 60s, according to Playboy, University of Wisconsin was the #1 party school.
I think it still ranks up there. I think Florida State took it one year, but I think University of Madison, Wisconsin is still pretty much one of the drunkest colleges in the nation.
Well, in those temperatures, you gotta.
Yep, there's no choice.
God. I spent 2 months in Wisconsin one weekend. All right, you guys. Now I've gotten to that level of jokes. It really is time for me.
Thanks a lot.
Hey, I love you. Thank you very, very much.
Thanks for your
man.
time, Jackie. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Jackie.
All right, bye-bye.
Be well.
Man, I love old men.
Travis, break?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's take a quick one.
Break.
Well, this is something you don't hear every day. Monkeys are on the loose in Pennsylvania. A tractor trailer carrying about 100 monkeys collided with a dump truck just off Interstate 80 near Bloomsburg last night. State police are telling the public not to attempt to capture the monkeys on their own, but to call 911 and let the experts handle it.
A dump truck collided with a truck full of monkeys.
Free as shaving can be because you're the product.
Deliverance. Once again, WFOD. Wheelbarrow full of dicks.
Guys, welcome back. And Travis, I actually prepared quite a bit. Guess we'll do it next week, huh? Travis,
save all that. Hopefully, it still remains relevant next week.
Shannon and Lisa were giving me shit yesterday because I don't know what my blood type is. Do you guys know what your blood type is?
A positive.
Oh. You don't know your blood type, Travis?
I used to give blood.
No, nobody in our household knows.
Something about my plasma, my platelet count is rare, so...
Your platelet? What's a platelet?
I'm just... some fancy blood term, I don't know.
Some shit in your blood.
But whatever I have is rare, and they really need it, so they used to hound me every 28 days for it.
They said we should do a fun bit where I buy Drunk a lab coat and get a blood test thing, and Drunk finds my blood test. That wouldn't be a fun bit, would it? That sounds stupid.
Yeah, that's dumb.
Doing blood tests on a podcast?
How's that a bit?
Is that a good bit, Travis? Maybe that'd be the question of the week. Hey guys, do you think it'd be a good bit? Drunk sticking me with needles.
We should also do just at home COVID tests too. You know,
just for fun. You could get drug tests at the dollar store.
Well, let's see if you can stick this up their nose the furthest.
We could all just pee on drug tests. It'd be fun.
Perfect. Pee on pregnancy tests, see what happens.
Travis, there is something pretty important that I want to go over.
100 monkeys?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, okay, the monkey thing. That's fucked up. Okay. Travis, you see the story with the monkeys?
Yeah, they put them on a truck from the place where the monkeys were like beating the shit out of everybody and killing them dogs, and then they escaped.
Yeah, they escaped. So there was 100 monkeys in a truck. Dump truck hits the monkey truck. They didn't say who was driving the dump truck. I bet it was a monkey. And so...
Yeah, it was a prison break.
Only 4 of the monkeys...
I've seen these movies before.
...escaped. I guess the other monkeys were dead, or like they were just packed really good. They didn't really say. They just said that there was 4 monkeys that escaped. And so this local town all went and got their pet carriers, and they're out driving around looking for the monkey. Like they're going to catch it themselves. And this is a supervillain origin story if I've ever heard one. Somebody gets bit by a lab monkey.
Or, the start of Outbreak.
Yeah. We don't know what's going on with these lab monkeys, Travis.
Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Outbreak 2.
Yeah. But also...
Did they ever say where these monkeys came from?
Well, they were on their way here. But they got...
And by here, we don't mean the WFOD studios. We mean St. Louis, Missouri.
They got intercepted early, which good, because keep those goddamn monkeys away from here. Don't want nothing to do with them, Travis. I had a pretty good idea for, we were talking about our goals, Travis, and we were talking about how we were gonna go viral in 2022, to get the word out about the Wfod. And what I saw
better than ever.
The year of better than ever, Travis. So Kate McKinnon on Saturday Night Live this week did an impression of Laura Ingraham. And I don't really know if it's a good impression because I don't really know what Laura Ingraham sounds like. But what I have is a clip of Kate McKinnon doing Laura Ingraham and then Laura Ingraham doing an impression of Kate McKinnon doing an impression of Laura Ingraham. And so what I thought is I would play you these two clips, and then I could clip you doing an impression of Laura Ingraham doing an impression of Kate McKinnon doing an impression of Laura Ingraham. You follow that?
That sounds great.
Yeah, because what I'll then do is I'll post it on Twitter and be like, hey, guys, this is an impression of Travis doing an impression of Laura Ingraham, doing an impression of Kate McKinnon, doing an impression of Laura Ingraham.
And then you can ask people to do their impression of me doing Laura Ingraham, doing Kate McKinnon, who is doing an impression of Laura Ingraham.
Right. And it could be the new trend. We could get it going on the TikTok, Travis, is my big plan.
That's right.
It's my big plan. So this is Kate McKinnon.
Well, we're finally done with year one of Biden's presidency. And can we all admit it's a disaster? Inflation's out of control. Gas is at $19 a gallon. And the green M&M has been canceled just for being a whore.
Okay. So this is the impression of the impression.
The reason I like Kate McKinnon, I have so much respect for her as a talent. She's so even-handed in her political commentary, but seriously, think of all the low-hanging fruit provided by Joe Biden and Nancy Pelosi. Little PDB and the squad on a near-daily basis. I mean, I think this is kind of comedy gold, don't you?
Okay, so I'll give you a second. Think about it. Now you have to do an impression of Laura Ingraham doing an impression of Kate McKinnon doing an impression of Laura Ingraham.
Can you imagine all the things going on in the Biden White House right now? I mean, it's comedy fodder. We can talk about gas prices, that dog biting everybody. I just think that it should be under surveillance. And that is ruining the country.
Right.
Bravo.
That's all I got.
You did well, Travis.
Thank you.
Travis,
On the spot. I was on the spot.
Yeah, it was good. It was great.
The M&M thing, we don't have to talk about the M&M thing, do we?
It's so stupid. Why did they even make an announcement? Just take the heels off the M&M and put her in some pumps.
I think that they do it just so that like everybody talks about it, and then everybody's like, "Oh shit, I had to get some M&M."
Did she really get canceled?
See, the green M&M, she was wearing "fuck me" boots, and they said, "Guys, we're just gonna give her some tennis shoes because it's."
That's not what they said, though. What they said was, we are going to make the M&M characters more inclusive.
Right.
And all they did was take the fuck me boots off the green M&M and put her in sneakers like everybody else.
I think that Ving Rhames is going to do the voice of the yellow M&M now. Like I don't think that like there was enough ethnicity in the M&Ms, Travis.
Well, why is he gotta be the yellow M&M? He can't be a different color M&M.
Yeah, don't make him the red or the yellow.
Make
Those
him
are the classic.
Make him the blue M&M.
That don't have a voice yet.
Is this the Idris Elba can't be James Bond argument?
No.
Make a new.
No, because anybody can be James Bond.
Make a new spy if you want to make a black one. Right?
No.
Make the purple M&M.
You're putting words in the mouth there, Mike. Putting words in the mouth.
Okay. Guys.
You want to make a non-binary M&M, you son of a bitch? Make a white one.
Travis. Do you have a pick of the week? Something you want the people to know about, Travis? I'll advocate for the hamsters next week, guys. We'll save it. We'll just do.
You look like your demon thought there. I'll cut you off and I'll go first here, Travis.
Drunk, you got a good pick of the week?
Drunk's pick of the week. It used to be, if you're an old man like me, one of the four majors. That's
tennis.
Well, I mean, it could be anything.
Is that
at
golf?
This point, it could be. Or they used to call it a pay-per-view, but now they just call it a premium live event. This Saturday at the Dome at the America Center, yours truly will be present for the Royal Rumble presented by the WWE.
Are you gonna bring a sign?
Oh, I should make a sign.
Go to the Dollar Tree.
Bring
get
a
some
Dub Fod
cardboard.
sign.
Bring a Dub
Ooh,
Fod sign.
yeah.
Drunk. If you could get a Dub Fod sign on TV.
Problem is, I'm in the club seats, so I mean,
that's fancy, isn't it?
It's fairly high up there. Like I'm not like ringside or nothing. This is true.
You know what, Travis? You know what he ought to do if he's up high. We should give him.
Well, I'm not in the nosebleeds. Let's not.
Do you remember? You remember when we bought all those boxes of business cards and now like all the information? I think it has Radio Fubar on it. We just have drunk.
All outdated. I still have a few here.
Chuck boxes of fucking business cards out. Just drop them all over the place. Fill his pants with them, and then when he's out in the lobby, just start shaking them, shaking his pants.
Yeah.
Have him drop out of the leg of his.
Andy Dufresne style.
Still good.
Yeah. No. So is Brock Lesnar going to be there?
Brock Lesnar will be there. He is fighting Bobby Lashley.
That guy kind of looks like a buff Grimace.
Yeah, he kind of does.
He doesn't have like a stitch of hair on him.
Roman Reigns will be fighting Seth Rollins, who is currently a heel, but it seems like they're trying to turn face right now. And then you'll have the Women's Royal Rumble and the Men's Royal Rumble. And I think one of the tag teams will be
Midnight Rockers.
Is it more about the community though? It's an event, right?
Well, the Royal Rumble's always been up there amongst my favorite pay-per-views. Excuse me, premium live events.
I usually watch that.
Nowadays, I'd probably say it's Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Or the Elimination Chamber is pretty fun too.
I usually watch that one just because it's chaotic. I like to see all the people in the ring just kind of.
Well, it is fun
around.
that the person who wins gets their main event at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So,
Travis, I have a pick of the week. It's kind of lame, and I apologize for my lame pick of the week. But it's actually for the same reason that I like the Royal Rumble. I like this show that Jimmy Fallon's doing called That's My Jam because it's chaotic. Like there's people doing like singing challenges and stuff, and like the first episode they had celebrities and like they're on episode 4 and they're already down to the guy from the Dan Band. Like they're out of celebrities willing to do this show quick. And so I don't know where it's going from here, but it's a lot of fun and it's like
the Dan Band's awesome.
Taped in front of a live studio audience and like it doesn't seem like anybody has any control over what's going on, and like people get sprayed in the face with like microphone water, and like I kind of wonder how do you shoot water out of a microphone without anybody getting electrocuted, and I'm watching a network television show, Travis. It's embarrassing, but it is fun.
Nothing wrong with network TV.
So yeah, that's my
you were the guy
jam.
who loved The Masked Singer, so it's not really much different than that.
Oh, I fell out of love with that quick, Travis. I did not last long with The Masked Singer. That it wore off.
Well, that's the thing. They tried to pump out 4 of them in a year.
Yeah, they tried to do too many.
If they'd have just let it simmer and then brought it back, they'd been fine.
What I had was The Masked Singer fatigue.
Yeah.
Yep. I
Sometimes
think a lot of people probably did.
And what was it now? It's the same judges, but now it's I can see your voice or something like that.
Is that the point of that? I guess you look at somebody and you say, "Yeah, you're a shitty singer," and
I don't know.
then other people
I've
say,
only seen the previews for it. I figured you'd be into it.
"Yeah, you're a good singer."
No, I think I can see your voice is the one where they use like computer generated like avatars.
Oh
no, that's something else. That's a different show.
Are you sure?
There's too many. There's too many fucking celebrity singing shows, Travis.
Dumb.
They announced the Celebrity Big Brother cast, and I didn't know who any of them were. It's like 15
They're
people.
all TikTok stars.
There's like 15 of them. I was like, I don't know who any of these fucking people are.
The Avatar singing show is called Alter Ego.
Oh, so there's an Avatar singing show. There's a singing show where you look at people and try to decide if they're a good singer or a bad singer based on what they look like. And then there's the Masked Singer where everybody dresses up like mascots.
Plus, that fucking voice is still going. Can you believe
Fucking
that?
voice, yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't think that one will ever die.
Yeah, because we can't get enough of Blake Shelton.
Who's he gonna divorce this week?
Guy's got charisma for days, Travis.
Yeah, sure does.
Travis, pick of the week or no?
No pick of the week. I've been on quarantine for 10 days. I finally go back to work in person tomorrow. I've been consuming so much media that I can't keep it straight. So I have no idea what I've been taking part in the last 10 days. It's just been fast and furious, and nothing has stood out. So
That's
no pick of the
funny.
week from me this week.
Travis, I got
maybe the divisional game, Chiefs Buffalo.
That was a great game.
That divisional game was unfucking believable, and there's no possible way any more football this year will be as good as that.
He threw 176 yards in the last 2 minutes of the game.
Jesus Christ, it was so good. God damn. I just was like, my mouth was agape, just like, what is happening here?
Travis,
And,
did you happen to hear that Kid Rock song a couple of weeks ago that was like ridiculous?
I saw that clip. It was like the eagle flying and everything. Like it was just like it looked like a parody on like Chappelle's show or something. Like it wasn't real. Yeah, I saw that. He's got another one.
The new one's even worse. I have a clip of it. I know we're not supposed to play music, but I pulled this clip for you just because I think you really
we'll
like
edit it out.
Kid Rock wants to get his message out to the people. It'll be fine.
Fuck Facebook! Fuck Twitter too! And the mainstream media! Fuck you too!
Wow, that's really good.
Trump 2024.
Rock.
Woo! Fuck Facebook, Travis. Fuck Twitter too.
Two.
And the mainstream media. Fuck you too. Two. Huh! That was
Two. Devil without a cause. I'm going platinum.
Hey, now don't go. No.
Hey.
Kid Rock was fine back in the day.
No, that's just he's remixing. Kid Rock just fine.
When was it for you with Kid Rock? Was it when he did?
Probably the Sheryl Crow song.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
For me, I think it was when he did the Metallica song, but then definitely when he did the Werewolves of London. And he's just like, "Hey guys, Werewolves of London, only it's a new song." I was like, "No, Kid Rock."
That summertime
Oh,
song was bullshit.
yeah.
You stop it.
It was okay.
You fucking motherfucker. He's like, "Yeah, I got a really good band. Hear this, and we're just gonna play a Metallica song."
It was Warren Zevon and
yeah,
Sweet Home Alabama.
Yeah, fuck him.
Mixed in the
It
same
was
song.
1982 and my cock was very hard.
My problem with that song is
Hanging out by
he
the dock with your best friend.
tried to go straight country with that one.
Sweet Home Alabama all summer long. Yeah, no, that was it for me. But now it's fun again.
I was at a workplace and one of my managers was obsessed with that Sheryl Crow Kid Rock song and literally had it on repeat for 8 straight hours, and I could not do it anymore. So bad. I'm so mad at that song.
Follow me into the volcano.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna stick my head in this oven and not come back out.
Travis, the
Like
new
that,
Kid Rock songs.
That running joke in 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Yamo, burn this place to the ground. Is that?
Yeah, we'll burn this place to the ground. Play that Michael McDonald DVD one more time. I'm gonna fucking.
The problem with the new Kid Rock songs is I love them ironically. I like listening to them because they're funny. But like if I listen to them on Spotify, Spotify thinks I like it, and then it just fucks up everything. Like Spotify is like, hey, you want to listen to more shitty music? And I was like, no, I like that one because it was fun. Not this one.
That's why y'all listen to it on YouTube, not Spotify.
Yeah, I need a separate Spotify account for when I want to listen to stuff ironic.
Do it on your radio Spotify.
Right. Yeah, I'll play this Kid Rock song like when I'm not logged in. Guys, we did it. Jokeland.com. I'm sure Jackie's podcast is on there. It's Stand-Up Memories. It's a pod. He's already recorded 20 of them, Travis. You think once you get about 10, you start putting them out, right? What are you gonna do? 20 episodes?
You never know what's going to happen. Record 20 of them and then put it out.
Jesus, 20 episodes. Travis, could you imagine having that banked?
No, it'd be sweet. Then we would just not do it for 20 weeks and then never do it again.
We'd be like, oh man, we haven't done it in 20 weeks. You want to go back to doing them again? And be like, no.
I would do another 20.
Can we break off another quick 20?
It's like take one day and do 20. We do that twice a year. We're done.
Yeah,
that's how they do like Family Feud and shit.
Absolutely.
So might as well.
And Ben Sajak makes bank, baby.
Do Wheel of Fortune podcasts. Do them all.
I'm good at it.
If you're listening to this installment of WFOD, please subscribe and leave positive reviews on your preferred podcast player. Share the episode on social media or with one of your in-real-life friends. For links to our ever-expanding universe, including our Discord, our Twitch, and YouTube channels, and our library of back episodes, visit us at WFODshow.com. Thanks to Carl Casey at White Bat Audio for the music used in this podcast. Thanks to our Patreon sponsors, Amanda, Valerie, Brian, and Liquid. Visit patreon.com/WFODix to help support the show. Leave us a voicemail at 636-487-4263. Email us Mike or Travis at WFODix.com or reach out on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. We'll see you next week. Thank you. Goodbye.
So far, they've named 26 entrants into the 30-man Royal Rumble.
We've already named them?
Yeah, which is about right.
Okay.
So that means there's going to be 4
surprises,
which is generally about the number they have every year. So if you haven't been watching the last couple years, Roman Reigns has been the champion for like 400 something days. It's been almost 2 years. And like his whole shtick is he's the head of the table.
Okay.
He's the man in charge. He's
the big dog.
He's the big dog. Well, the rumor, at least everybody here in St. Louis is hoping, is that one of those surprise entrances is going to be none other than Dwayne Johnson.
Oh, yeah?
And he wins the Royal Rumble and takes the head of the table at WrestleMania.
Oh.
Because he's Roman Reigns' cousin.
Have they announced Johnny Knoxville yet?
They have.
Okay. Because Johnny Knoxville, I heard, is going to be there.
Johnny Knoxville will be in there.
He's going to be in the Royal Rumble?
He's one of the competitors of the Royal Rumble. Yes,
Wow.
Johnny Knoxville. Kind of like Drew Carey that 1 year.
David Arquette also going to be there?
Hey, have you seen that movie?
Yeah, it's great.
Dude.
Did you watch the movie?
I did.
I haven't seen it yet.
You haven't seen David Arquette Must Die?
No, I wanted to watch it, but Laura doesn't want to see it, so I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, it's fucking amazing, dude. You gotta watch it. It's so good.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen. Yeah, he almost dies a couple times.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
I wanted to see that Pepe the Frog movie too, and I haven't watched that yet either.
Yeah, did you watch the new Disney hotness? Encanto.
Encanto?
And Don't Let It Be Bruno or whatever. Must be Bruno. I don't know.
There's a guy named Bruno in it?
Well, that's the new song. And apparently it's now past Let It Go is like the most popular Disney song.
You mean because Let It Go's old?
No, it's like number of downloads or whatever.
Don't Let It Be Bruno?
It's something like that. You know what it is?
Don't let it be Bruno. Travis.
Bruno actually is the alter ego of Bruce Willis when he's making music. So if you go back, it's the Return of Bruno is quite a wonderful little album done by Bruce Willis singing things like Under the Boardwalk and whatnot. It's pretty good.
And then Aerosmith made Honkin' on Bruno.
Do you know all the actors' bands' names?
Well, Eddie Murphy was just Eddie Murphy with Party All the Time.
All right, what about Keanu
Michael
Reeves?
C. Hall? Michael C. Hall from Dexter. His band, I think, is called Princess Goes to the Museum.
Johnny Depp was in a band with Gibby Haynes called P. They had a song called Diane.
What was Keanu Reeves' band's name?
Dogstar.
That's right, it was Dogstar.
And Adam Sandler, he was in the Lone Rangers.
Yep, Adam Sandler was the Lone Rangers. Mark Wahlberg, what was his? The
Funky Bunch.
Steel Dragons or some shit like that.
It was the Funky Bunch. Come on now.
I think the guy who was on
wasn't Russell Crowe in a band too?
The 40-odd foot grunt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever heard
There's a lot more grunting going on with him?
Kevin Costner is in a band too. It's like Kevin Costner and the something. There's the Bacon Brothers.
I said that already.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I said that was the obvious one.
It's obvious. That and Rob Zombie's brother, Power
White
Man
Zombie?
5000.
Oh, yeah.
Spider One.
I thought that was his cousin. Whatever.
I think it's his brother. Boomer Bob mentioned 5000 or Power Man 5000 in the chat. Power Man 5000 never went away. I think it's Spider just is Power Man 5000 and like he just like gets new guys all the time. He's like a 9 Inch Nails, Travis.
Yeah, you don't. All you need is Trent Reznor.
Well, I mean, I loved his one song in 2000 or whatever. So,
yeah. When the apocalypse
I like that
comes, that'll
song
probably
in
be the
2001.
Travis, we did it, right?
Yeah, we did do it. It got a little choppy at the end. I had trouble. Your video got all fucked up, and your audio got all fucked up on this end, so I couldn't really track. But yeah, I mean, I feel like we finished it.
Yeah. And
you think Jackie liked?
Charles, do you think Jackie liked
I don't know
me?
if he really. I don't know if he knew, even after talking to us, who we were really.
He had a good time, though. He sure did have a good time.
I had a good time, too.
Charles, I had a good time.
You had a good time?
I did.
Drunk?
I had a good time.
I had better
You
than a
have a good
good time. I had a great time.
Guys, you listening in the chat room on YouTube, I hope you had a good time too.
Let us know if you had a good time.
What was the question?
Not right now.
What was the question that we were going to ask, Travis? If
should Mike have Arby's for lunch tomorrow?
The blood type bit, if that would be a good bit.
Well,
we're going to do a
two of the
poll.
listeners in the chat right now probably are the ones that suggested it, right? So,
that's a good
come
point. I'll have to put. I'll put the poll out after we drop.
But for Travis's question, yes, you should totally have Arby's for lunch tomorrow.
Those fucking cocksuckers drunk.
What happened?
I wanted.
You went to the wrong Arby's.
A French dip and Swiss so bad.
Uh-huh.
And I went to Arby's.
And they didn't have no French dip?
Ordered a French dip and Swiss. Got home.
No dip.
No dip.
There was no dipping happening.
You can't eat the French dip without the dip.
I just had a roast beef sandwich with some Swiss
cheese on it. Oh, but it was on a hoagie.
It was. I mean, it's good.
Yeah, it's Arby's. It's not bad. You just wish you had the
Don't you have like beef broth in the house? You should have just fucking dumped beef broth all over it.
Beef broth. That's not au. Is that au jus?
Yeah.
It's just beef broth.
Might as well. I mean, there's
should I just have some in my house in case this happens again?
Or like what you could do is make beef ramen noodles and don't make the noodles. Just put the seasoning pack in there. It's basically the same shit.
Yep, pretty much the same thing.
You guys think outside the box.
And I mean, like packaged ramen noodles, what, 20 cents?
Just have one in your house in case.
Yep.
And then if you want to eat the ramen noodles in the future, you just put some other seasonings in the water and you're good to go.
Yep.
Travis, I don't use the seasonings. I make the ramen noodles, and then I just put a little olive oil in it and a little Parmesan cheese. And
You fucking idiot!
I don't do the seasoning.
Fucking idiot!
This guy.
This fucking guy.
I throw the seasoning packet in the garbage.
Are you fucking kidding me?
You should throw yourself in the garbage. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Now, if you just said, I'm trying to watch my salt intake, I only use half packet, I'd be like, okay, fine, you only use half packet.
Stupid ass. You always boil the fucking noodles and the shit, then you dump the water out.
No, I boil the noodles.
I only dump the water half the time. Sometimes I like ramen soup.
I strain the water out. I put the noodles on a plate. Put a little olive
But I
oil
will
on it,
say,
a little Parmesan cheese.
Regardless if I do have the water or I dump the water, about 75% of the time I'm putting an egg on top.
This is how you make ramen noodles if you have extra time. You boil the ramen noodles in the broth. You dump the broth out. You dump some soy sauce in the thing. You crack an egg over the top. You swirl it around, dump some sriracha, and then you put
But
it
you
in a
don't
bowl.
cook the egg, you just dump the egg in there, right?
You crack
because
the egg
the
in
noodles
it, and
will cook the egg.
The noodles will cook the egg.
What?
Yep.
So you just dump a raw egg on top of your
steaming ass noodles. They just got out of boiling water, dude. It'll cook the egg.
Yeah. You put the noodles back in the pot.
Okay.
Not
After
back
you
over
strain the
heat, just
water.
Put them in the pot. The pot's still strain the water.
Okay.
The pot is still kind of hot, so don't put it back on the heat. Dump the noodles back in. Crack an egg over the top. Throw a little soy sauce and maybe a little garlic powder. Stir it up, and the pot will cook that egg. So you got little chunks of egg coating themselves all over the noodles. It's the way to do.
So you don't use the seasoning packet?
And the yolk is just like the perfect like carbonara type sauce.
Throw the seasoning packet in the garbage, right?
No,
he
boil
boils
it in the season packet.
Okay.
But
boil it in the season
you don't,
packet.
you don't have
so
to.
it's basically boiling it in beef broth.
Once you put the soy sauce in there, it tastes like soy sauce.
Yeah.
Or if you
don't
prefer
put too much in. Or
if you prefer teriyaki, I use teriyaki, but with the same method.
Or leave it all out. Leave it all out and just do sriracha.